I don't know what to tell you. I just feel like it's a Musashi Liu Bang game. It has to come from here. Like it's a delivery package game from Boom Esports.
But you know that it could be a potential pick. So at the same time, Boom Esports would also be ready for that sort of style, right? So I think that it really comes back to just like, you know, we've seen these drafts. We know that these teams are going to be prepared for some sort of draft that they've shown already.
It has to be the Liu Bang as the roam, right? Roam or Clash. This is something they would definitely fight over unless there is a ban here. I firmly believe Boom Esports will give... No, they won't. Okay, I'm done. I don't know what to talk about now.
To give them so that you go with the Flowborn tank. I mean, we were talking about this, right? That is definitely an option, but it doesn't look like Boom Esports are willing to do that because you still have the ZonQ effect. Yes, he can play every single jungler in the Honor of Kings entire game, but you still want to, you know, take away some of those high flying ones that you know that he excels on.
Okay, now we will... I mean, high excelling ones, I definitely think that BIGETRON wants their hands on it. But once again, this is pretty deep into the hero pools already, right? So I'm curious to see what this jungler choice will be from both ends. Now, BIGETRON, they're going to pick up the Lung, probably, for this side of the red side here. So good tankiness in the form of the Spark Mace, good burst damage, very independent farming from the Lung. What else do you think complements this?
Well, it looks like they're aiming for the Parasola. Let Danny kind of cook with this, and you've got the Peacekeeper to kind of just cover that track, you know, that line. But they're very squishy. Their potential for the jump line, getting to that back line, could be a target that BIGETRON want in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think right here is about layering the stuns, right? If you can get the lockdown onto the Lung long enough, it's essentially a freebie in terms of kills. But I like this response by BIGETRON. They're not giving up. This is what I want to see. The Fade coming in. You talk about squishy lineups. This is a big punishment.
Yeah, very squishy here. And this is a great one for ZonQ. These are all three prime targets, and it's going to make it very easy for ZonQ to do any sort of real damage. The positioning needs to be on point. The next two picks from Boom Esports, it's all about the peel, keeping those guys alive, plus you need a damage dealer as well.
All right, what do we see here from BIGETRON? Do you want to get... Who's this mid laner they're saving for? I believe they have not played the higher yet on the side of BIGETRON.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely an option for them, but it looks like they're going to go with the Peaceful Fist and the Martial Genius to kind of round it up. I mean, a little bit of control, the peel, it does add in quite a bit in terms of how they want to play this. But if we're looking at this lineup, this is a 4 Protect 1. It's all about the Parasola. If Danny gets focused, they're going to have a tough time.
Oh, okay, I like this answer, right? The Divine Enforcer, the Zuya here, able to lower the physical and magical defenses of anyone caught in his first skill. I think that's going to be very valuable for the side of BIGETRON by Vitality. Jungling speed-wise, I think this is very much in ZonQ's corner here.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. Like this lineup, I don't know if this is good enough. For me, it's like I understand the Flowborn tank. You need some sort of tanky frontliner to potentially protect all the squishies. But if you're looking at the rest of the lineup, who can really ultra carry, right? It's the Parasola and really not anybody else. Everybody else is kind of like the supporting cast. Unless Carl kind of turns it up and is able to do that damage, I see a little bit of a weakness in this Boom Esports lineup here.
I think it's really dependent on the poke, right? So this one's kind of different for me. I feel like whoever gets the first initiation should be able to do it well. But you need to get the kill within the first 2 seconds of your initiation, or else the punishment is going to be painful from both sides.
Yeah. Do you think the punishment is going to be as bad as having to dance on TikTok?
No way. Dancing on TikTok as a punishment is
That's
far
the
worse.
worst, right? Yeah,
that's for life.
You're
gonna be on the internet forever.
Oh, yeah. No, I see that. That could be actually way worse, right? So, yeah, I mean, there is no day but today. And I think to help you out in terms of your predictions, you're going to have to be cheering for BIGETRON on this one because they need to get themselves back into this series with this game. I do think that this lineup is good enough, though. I think they have a great chance.
I mean, with all that has happened today, I need to go down to Jakarta personally, take a look at the teams there.
I hope you bring your dancing shoes, just in case. I think that we might be getting there to that point. But as we go into this pivotal Game 6, I mean, do you think that Boom Esports, this lineup is good enough? Or do you think BIGETRON have this as well?
You know what? I'm just gonna tell you, Saki just messaged me and he told me, bro, what dance are we gonna do? So I'm not making any more predictions at this point. I think it's set in stone that, you know what, I've got my predictions wrong. But obviously, I want BIGETRON to come back. I want to go into the ultimate battle. If I'm gonna have the dance, I want to see the ultimate battle.
Yeah. Okay, at least you earn it, right? That kind of stuff. At least the minimum. But think if they lose and you don't even get an ultimate battle. That's like the worst case scenario. Like the one thing that you want is the ultimate battle, and that didn't even happen. And Boom Esports come out of this port too.
Yeah, I mean, at this point.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, look, I'm looking for scraps now. BTR not looking for scraps. They're looking for the lead.
Yeah. I mean, they need to take it, right? I think that, but this lineup is good. I mean, let's be very honest. In a Game 6, having the Fade, you have the Byron, the Lung, the Dia. I mean, the Zia, it's all right. But, like, this is a pretty solid lineup in Game 6.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't like old people. I just don't like old people.
He's called a divine enforcer for a reason, and he's gonna enforce his will. At least that's what BTR hopes, right? And for now, that's not gonna happen because the stuns are plentiful coming in from draw. Beautiful work for the side of Boom Esports now. The boys are definitely locked in.
It definitely locked in. I mean, this is a must-win game, right? I would think for both of them. Boom Esports, they don't want to have a longer night. They don't want to go to the ultimate battle to stress themselves out of that last Game 7 where almost anything can happen. This is that moment where they're looking to close it out. But for me, it's about Carl, Danny. Can they get enough items to really kind of fight? And ZaQ making it tough, gets the Jade Seal, first blood. The execution happens.
Okay, important start. Not the best yet. ZaQ does manage to take away the healing deal from the T1 at the top. They won't be able to finish the job, of course. This is, what, 3-4 minutes, so there is going to be protection on your T1 turrets here. In the meantime, I think this farming speed by Boom Esports is not bad, right? The fact that Carl is already naturally slower in the wave clear in the jungle, and they're keeping quite close for now.
And that's kind of what you want. You want it just close, kind of give yourself a real good chance. I mean, it'll really set things up for later. But for me, it's about Carl, right? Is he able to kind of keep on pace in terms of this farm? Is he able to just kind of, you know, again, for me, this Flowborn, if they're able to get the back line, they're going to have a tough time. So Carl needs to save everybody.
I think Carl is definitely one of the big formulas. The second formula is, so how fast does Draw get this... Draw and Tatsui, when do they get the Venom start? Because until they do so, BTR is definitely going to have a more advantageous fight because of the heals.
Yeah, the heals and that sustain is going to be annoying to deal with, so they need to kind of navigate around that as well. So definitely makes sense. But that's going to be on Tatsuri, right? I think that with him being that secondary roamer style support, you know, it's about him just spreading the love, getting those skills to really kind of expand on that anti-heal.
Yeah, agree. And maybe for Draw, we're looking at like the Ominous Premonition to slow down the attack speed of the members on the side of BIGETRON by Vitality, right? Or even a Dawnlight, just to give the extra HP or extra shields so that the efficiency of ZaQ's ultimate, the Hardened Jade Seal, doesn't come too fast into effect.
Oh, nice. Ambush is potentially going. Gen Myth actually flashing away, but now Lanfeng joining the fight. It looks like they're going to be backing off. The Universal Law is going to miss everyone. But Boom Esports were looking to ambush onto Lanfeng. They knew it was going to be a tough one, especially since he's got infinite vastness as well. But they got caught out instead.
Yeah, I think at this point they need to figure out on Boom Esports, right? How many stuns can you land at the same time? Because if you can chain stun Lanfeng, you can guarantee a soft kill. But for now, 4 minutes is the timer. We will have that first neutral objective wrestle.
Yeah, and they're like posturing around it. Even the Clash laners are looking to join. Ball is making his way there with Miggy, but instead they turn their attention. It looks like, oh, everybody was thinking about the Tyrant. No, we're all just gonna bail on it at the same time from both ends.
Yeah, because you can see that there is no urgency for BIGETRON by Vitality to start it, right? All they have to do is to get the Zankyu ultimate. Haruji seals the last hit.
Oh, the flash forward. Tatsuri finds him. The infinite fast is used instantly. The fast fingers are on point. He's just gonna kind of reverse it just a little bit, and now ball will show up, and the rest of Boom Esports are like, actually, let's not even bother with this one.
Okay, Boom does not have information on who is actually here, so this is a little bit of a risk. Draw will get to see that something is being taken. Unfortunately, will not be able to steal it away. So this is a guaranteed turret for the side of Team BIGETRON by Vitality, and this is going to be a 2,000 gold lead plus for the side of BIGETRON.
BIGETRON right now, like, you can tell that Zankyu is mad, he's possessed, and he wants to carry this game because he is just farming so efficiently. He's not even looking for ganks, he's just looking for that net farm because, again, he will carry in the end. This Fade is going to be an absolute monster later, so he's going to be super scary.
Yeah, all about efficiency at this point, right? And to maximize the efficiency, Lanfeng must not have his life taken away. He did burn his flash, he needs to play really safe. Right now it's all about F1, but oh, Migi!
Oh, he's taking a decent amount. Zankyu on the wall, though. And this is something that they kind of were looking into. The Mayan, something that where you can pull Zankyu potentially off of that ledge. Oh, nice two-man stun. They turn this. They find Tatsuri. The flash away. It looks like Draw with that Cannon Blast is going to do a little bit of work, but they find him, and he's able to just cover his retreat. The Fox is going to be used, but Draw, he's in a bad spot. He's going to go down as well.
Yep, this is prime BTR at this point. Looks like this early part of the game is definitely in favor for the side of BIGETRON by Vitality. IKL still has a little bit of hope here. They extend the lead to 3,000 at this point at the 6-minute mark. They just need more kills on the side of BTR and maybe play more around the map. So they get a T1 for free at the bottom. Now, Boom Esports, this is not the end of the game yet. Late game, Carl is going to be quite hard to take down, honestly.
It's going to be hard to take down, but at the same time, Zankyu is going to do a decent amount of damage, so he should do enough to deal with Carl. He should be that counter, if you will. But BIGETRON, this could not have been a better start for them. They're doing very well in this one.
Yes, and I'm curious to see how they're going to try and maintain this lead, right? As we know in Honor of Kings, it's not just about gaining the advantage, it's about holding it and building upon that lead as well. And Boom Esports, so far, they have been confined to their own side of the jungle for fear that they will be ganked. And Zankyu does have that delete button.
Yeah, he has that delete button, and now he's on the prowl. Miggy, understanding that this is going to be super scary, gives up the top T1, and Zankyu, with just like 3 slices, takes down that tower. He's doing a lot of damage early.
Okay, but the T1 at the bottom, oh, instantly replied. Zankyu is flying down. This T1 in the mid, though, they will be able to get a little bit of free damage? No, they won't.
No damage whatsoever. And Zankyu, with that teleport, he's actually absorbing and stealing all of those waves as well, understanding that he is the guy, right? Lanfeng will definitely be there as well, but Zankyu, if he's able to just kind of out-farm everyone, which he's doing very efficiently, you know that, Boom is in a bad spot.
Yeah, that's the win condition, right? For Zankyu as a Fade Featherfoot, he just needs to make sure he has a minimal of 2 level advantage against the members of Boom Esports. This is inclusive of the other members like Danny, Tatsuri, and Draw, because that increases his chances of getting that instant delete.
Now Ball looking to set things up. He actually goes right on in. They get the decent amount of damage, but they're not able to get any sort of the kills. The Universal Law with that zoning, but it just spread throughout. Danny was so low, somehow still alive. This Azure Golem is under siege.
Okay, they don't even need to care about it at this point. Crimson Golem as well, going to be the next point of choice. Carl shouldn't get this. Yep, it's going to be Harden J sealed and stealed. Stolen, given to the side of Zankyu.
Yeah, taken away, right? I mean, Zankyu just doing everything. Understanding that the red buff is probably there. All the infinite fast is used instantly. They threw out everything in the kitchen sink, and he just dodges it as he gets on his dragon on out of there.
Right, so everything going to the side of BIGETRON Vitality, by Vitality's hands at this point. They're going to funnel this Crimson buff into the hands of Lanfeng since Zankyu already has it. Now, the big thing here is the 10-minute mark, right? They have a decent lead. In fact, it's a huge lead. 5,000 gold ahead for the side of BIGETRON by Vitality, but they haven't exactly exerted too much pressure across the map just yet.
You don't need to. I mean, as long as this net worth lead continues to grow and you know that it's going in the hands of Zankyu, that is the worst case scenario for Boom Esports in this Game 6 here.
Yeah, but there will be a cap, right? Once Zankyu hits 15, you can only have that level cap for a period of time. They will catch up eventually.
Yeah, eventually, but then you got the old man with his Sanctify, and he kind of buffs it up a little bit more. Obviously, Lanfang is probably the better target, but still, he could potentially be an option here as BIGETRON. Now they're looking to siege this bottom T2, the Flaming Palm eaten up by Carl, the Universal Law zoning him away, but BIGETRON taking that tower and doing everything for free.
Yep, back to the BTR that we know, right? Very calculated movements. This is the robot that we've been waiting for. The red robots. Very oppressive playstyle here. And they're looking for any opening here.
Yeah, and this is a very uncomfortable one if you're Boom, right? Because you're not able to get much. Oh, Carl, I think he actually took that away. That was very lucky. He didn't even have to smite that one, but the Tyrant, this is the Shadow Tyrant. It will be taken by BIGETRON very easily with that Hardington seal to secure it.
All right, this is one of the rare moments I get to do it, but you're wrong. Carl did have to use a smite. So this is no contest for the other counter objective. And Boom, they think that BTR is around here. And right now, the only prize is the T1. The trade that is possible for BTR is going to be the T2s.
Yeah, and now Lanfang picking up a red buff yet again, taking this away. And again, he's been farming very well. He's been largely quiet, as has Zhang who's been more of the front liner in terms of the steals with the enemy jungle. But this is a must-win game, and BIGETRON, you're seeing what they're doing. They seem very possessed and ensuring that they get this victory here with this huge map control.
Yeah, this really is like a surgical clean, right? Nobody has taken a fall yet on the side of BTR. It is 3 kills to nothing. They're not taking careless fights. You take a look at the gold here. 9.4 thousand gold in hands of Zhang. He is very close to 6 slots.
Miggy there didn't actually get serious in the right spot. He actually shortchanged it a bit, and now the top T3 is, yes, it's standing, but things are looking very dire for them as Vitality have taken yet another tower.
Just curious about this tankiness here. Like, what is necessary? Because 3 kills, but it's a 7,000 goldie simply because of the extra amount of turrets they've taken. 5 extra turrets taken by BTR at this point.
I mean, I don't really know how you fight as Boom. You got to have the perfect initiation, Miggy potentially going in. Then you have Tatsuri and Draw just kind of stun locking them for the rest of them. Carl and Danny to kind of clean house. But that's best case scenario. And BIGETRON right now with this huge map control, it makes it very tough because they own the map. They have all of vision. They see everything coming a mile away.
Yep, a very huge draft difference, right? You did point this out, which is where's the damage going to come from on the side of Boom? And it, for this moment, only comes from Danny.
It's weird because you said I'm right. I think that this is the first time that I've actually heard that. And, you know, I actually feel quite honored that you would say something like that.
I feel like you have a bit of trouble remembering stuff, but anyway, I will give that to you.
I'm old, man. I'm old. But as we go into this one, I mean, it's not even 13 minutes in. And look at how BIGETRON, I mean, with these Vanguards, the timing is going to be absolutely perfect on this one because with all 3 lanes pushing, it's going to be so hard. Carl is up there, eats a Universal Law, and now they're deciding to go. Bald is trying to set up the play. He has to actually go Golden Tatsuri, that is. He will survive, but now do they have any sort of counter initiation? Nice little play, the nice 2-man knockup. They've gotten Miggy and Draw on this one. They turn their attention to the mid T3, and with this power play, this 2-man advantage, they're looking to end this game. How does Boom hold?
They can't. There is no big CC available for the side of Boom Esports, and it's 25 seconds without Draw or Miggy. Something needs to happen with Tatsuri's ulti here.
Yeah, they got the Flaming Palm as well. Now they're trying to just hold on this, but they've taken the Parasola down, and they take the Crystal, and Game 6 is underway. Taken away by BIGETRON as now we go to the ultimate battle.
All right, my wish has been granted. Maybe I don't need the dance. And here we see Zhang coming back to life. You know, with that shimmy down there. And maybe, for the IKL fans, today will be your day.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's a 50-50 now. We're at the ultimate battle. We wanted this. You wanted this. I think you're okay with BIGETRON losing now, right? Because now that we see the ultimate battle.
No. Who said that?
Not just yet.
You
just don't want to dance.
We will let the loser be the loser, and we'll let the winner be the winner. Right now, it's just who fits into which box, right? Now, this is, now for those of you that are new to Honor of Kings, I can see you guys in the comments as well. So what we're going to be practicing now is called the Ultimate Battle. Now, in the earlier parts of the series, we practiced something called the global ban pick, meaning if you pick that hero, you will not be allowed to use that hero again. But once you unlock the final battle in the form of the ultimate battle, you get to choose whatever heroes you want. Here's the catch. You don't know what your opponents are choosing.
They actually might even be the same picks. That's the craziest part, right? So you might be playing a mirror matchup. You might see, you know, 2 Looms, 2 Arlies, whatever it is at this point. The coaches, it looks like they're underway, and they're about to go with this one, and the blue side is going to go to Boom.
Interesting. Most of the time, Boom has opted for the red side, but this time they're going for the blue side, so something is up here.
Yeah, and now it looks like the coaches are going to have a quick discussion with the teams. What do they feel most comfortable with? What is the meta? What is the perfect draft synergy as we go into this one? It comes back to only one game. The loser is going to go home.
Yeah, this is super critical. And as a coach, right, this is the time you kind of explore. In the past 6 games, what kind of composition gave us the most power over my opponents? I think that is the first step into understanding what the potential picks will come from on both sides.
For me, it's going to be kind of like, do they, like, generally Pei is a pretty popular one in the Ultimate Battle. Do both teams kind of go with that same direction where they want to go fast pace? Because again, if they don't pick it themselves and the other team does, then they're at a bit of a disadvantage, especially early.
I think based on the history of HOK we've seen across the board, since 2024, where we got introduced into HOK, I think most teams have won the best of 7 ultimate battles with a very fast-paced jungler, right?
Yep.
The faster jungler normally wins the game for the team. And this doesn't mean like just Pei. We've seen the Ogren take charge of the game as well. So I think it is a balance of, can you ensure that your jungle camps do not get stolen in the first part of the game? Because that has always been the marker of success and failure for both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, it seems like that lineup, that fast-paced jungler is usually just kind of like their best foot forward, right? When they're looking to end the game and to kind of prepare for these type of battles where, again, you don't know what you're up against. It's all blind. So it's kind of scary, but at the same time, you want to go fast because you want to dictate the pace of this one and to kind of end it early for yourself.
And we know about the favorite picks by everyone, right? Do we get a mirror match Dharma at this point? Do we get like the Ari? Do we get the Channel? Or do we get the Looms? Now with the new updates on the patch as well, Arta is now one of those clash leaders you have to seriously consider.
Yeah, actually, it's been quite good, but I don't know if it's one where you want to bring it out to the Ultimate Battle. Like, you have to think of, like, okay, what are the best picks per role? And then how can we disrupt that? Maybe the Ata's the guy, but then now you're kind of losing in that top lane. You might have, you know, you're not able to get the Byron or the Dharma or some other game changer, and now you got to work around it. But is Ata the newest hotness now?
I don't know, because you also have to place into consideration about, you know, the history of the picks from the players as well. We all know the Jing, the Luna coming in from the side of BIGETRON, Vitality's jungler Zhang Q. Meanwhile, on the side of Carl, he likes his fast-paced Pei, he likes the Ogren as well, and as sometimes even a Kudo. So let's see if these will come into play, or do we get a brand new strategy? Because once this countdown is over, these picks will be locked in, it will be revealed later. We'll take a look at the post-game of game number 6 after this.
I mean, for me, the biggest thing is just the Athena, just being kind of different. I think that was the biggest one, right? It changes how these ultimate battles are really played now, because we have a little something that could be different, right? And I think that this is a great opportunity. This is the first ultimate battle of 2026 on the international stage, and having this opportunity where, again, the loser goes home, winner moves on to top 4. This is a huge moment in the game.
And plus, it's IKL versus PKL, right? No other better regions to duke it out in our first ever ultimate battle on stage.
This is going to be one of those moments, right? To see exactly if they're able to kind of get onto that. But I'm really interested to see the picks, because this is what it's all about. But it looks like it's going to be underway soon, and the ultimate battle, we're queuing it up, and we're going to see exactly what the teams have picked at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, this picture and this banner is so apt, right? Because it truly is the jungler that dictates the pace of the game. And knowing both junglers, they really love this early game aggression. And, you know, for me, I feel Zhang Q is more of a flashy player. He gets the beautiful highlights, but he gets the job done as well. That's the crazy part. And Carl, if you let him explode, there is no coming back. Boom always takes the lead and crushes you with it.
Yeah, and definitely crushes you. I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? But I'm wondering if, like, just with how well they played, if they maybe go with some sort of, like, they both could play a fade. I don't know if that's the new, like, way to go in terms of these ultimate battles, because it seems like that kind of scales you for that mid to late, but then you kind of suffer in the early, which is something that we already talked about. But, like, again, what sort of direction would you go, Kindofu?
To be honest, I like that suggestion, a double fade, so we don't know who gets what. like it goes into the Jade form, and we're like, okay, who actually gets it? Right? We're looking at the screen, we're looking at the Primal Bond, it's like, okay, so which team actually gets the buff or gets the neutral objective? That will be fun to watch. That will be fun to cast as well. But before we head into this fantasy land and the dream of a game, let's head back into the past for a little bit and review this game number 6. What really went wrong for Boom? I feel it really was this single source of damage. Danny could never get the farm he needed.
Yeah, couldn't get any of the farm. I mean, they couldn't get a single kill, right? That's how, like, a perfect game when you're like, okay, backs on the wall, elimination game, we need to play a perfect one. This is how they draw it up, right? And Boom Esports, their draft really did not give them any sort of favors on this one. Danny was the only damage dealer, as again, we talked about already, but there was no follow-up, no real way to kind of get into the lineup of BIGETRON and continue to take that fight, and they were constantly pushed back, and Genmyth did some serious work with his 61,000 damage, though.
Yeah, it's crazy. The way that he was using all of his skills, especially his stuns and knockup, to make sure that, you know, the rest of Boom, not only were they caught in one particular corner together, they were also getting their defenses run down with his first skill. And the amount of times he hit his Universal Law, his ultimate, with that long range, I don't know, lane of pain, I would call it. Yeah, this is just insane.
Yeah, the Universal, yeah, he was doing some serious work. I mean, and plus they had that huge lead, so that level-wise, he was able to just help further expedite it. And you know, those teammates that are getting that level buff is just going to make it way more difficult for Boom Esports to kind of go in. I mean, you're kind of seeing exactly what happened here. It's looking very rough from the Boom Esports side in all of the lane matchups here, as BIGETRON had their number throughout that entire Game 6.
Yes, he started with a very conscious decision by the side of Zhang Q, right? He wanted to make sure that Bao could win that 1v1. And to be honest, I think with whatever that they were doing on the side of Boom, Miggy was playing out of his mind today. He was really good. And being put in a situation where Bao had the advantage in lane really made Boom's life so much more difficult.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering if in the draft, you know how you're like, oh, let them have BIGETRON have the Luna or the Jing. I think that they would have had a much better game. This fade was definitely a problem, and Zhang Q just like was executing people on the back and just all over the place. He was definitely a nuisance and a tough one. So going into this ultimate battle, like, look, I think they could go any sort of options. BIGETRON are incredibly flexible with their heroes.
Yes, I fully agree. And it's not just being flexible, they're really fast with their rotations, right? And you can tell now, all it takes is the first blood to be able to secure a decent chance of having a good gold advantage, right? But it matters where you get this first blood in. Especially if you can get a first blood in the farm lane, immediately there's going to be a huge advantage for you, and depending on how your team pushes it, right? BTR chose the Clash lane to build their game number 6 victory off of, simply because Miggy could not offer too much. He was behind on farm and levels.
Yeah, he was definitely behind. I mean, they were all behind. If you're even looking at the stats here, the ratios, but the MVP has got to be, of course, Zhang Q here. He was an absolute beast on that fade, just constantly just harrying everybody. And he was 3-0-1, but the biggest piece was that, like, his farm rate was insane as well.
Yeah, I'm super curious about how he's going to perform in this ultimate battle. And likewise, his counterpart in the form of Carl, right? This was the storyline from the start of the day. When BTR, BIGETRON by Vitality, meet up with their nemesis in the form of Boom Esports from PKL. Who is the better jungler? Because the better jungler decides the fate of the team, unfortunately.
Yeah. Most of the games, like, it really, you look at the jungler, who had a good game. If they had a good game, they won that team, right? So you're kind of seeing exactly, and this is kind of like the start of that, right? Once Zanq got first blood, that was pretty much all she wrote in terms of this snowball just getting going, because he was off the map. He dictates the pace in terms of when those team fights are going to happen because of his mobility and his ability to get that vision, to understand when to jump in. It just made it very difficult for Boom Esports. And they're trying to defend the tower, no chance here.
Yes, and bear in mind that universal law by Genlith, that ultimate from the old man, it damages the turrets as well. So there was a +1, and at this point, BTR, didn't really need to fight, right? It's all about pushing them back because the Overlords, the Vanguards, they were already on hit with that particular take onto the crystal itself. And that last interaction, I want you to focus on Zanq.